Hello, Bead Kids. Today, we're making a red panda bead pet with pony beads and simple drinking straws. It could also pass for a dog. First, we gather our supplies: 7 to 8 feet of cotton string, 7 to 9 plastic drinking straws, 50 white beads, 22 to 24 red beads, 47 orange beads, 5 black. The lanyard is optional, and I'll be using the Bead Kids 5-inch needles. I take the plastic drinking straws and cut them lengthwise and cut a point. That just helps us to put the beads onto the straws. If the straw has the bendy part, I just cut that part off and use it later. I have already set up my beads following the red panda photo. I go row by row, placing the beads onto a straw and then cutting the straw to the necessary length. The straw acts like a spring and will hold the beads on. The needles and string will fit through the middle of the straws later on. So thread the beads onto the straw and cut to the correct length. I use scissors, or my favorite tool is a side cut pliers. They cut flush with the beads. Generally, I use clear straws, but today I am using white straws so that you can see them easier. I'm also using the Bead Kids bead board. It holds my beads while I prepare my bead pet. Or you can lay your beads out on a hand towel, row by row. We will be making the head of the panda first and then adding the ears. Our panda is starting to look like a little panda. There's his little mouth and chin, his nose. And then we also add straws to the ears. When all of the rows have straws in them, even the ears, I will prepare my string and the optional lanyard. I cut about 5 feet of string and tie 2 5-inch plastic needles to the end of the string. You can connect it to a lanyard by the head or the ear, but lanyards are optional and can be added later. I use a clipboard to secure the lanyard, or you can tape the lanyard to the table. The right needle goes through the right side of the first bead row, and the left needle goes through the left side of the same bead row, crossing in the middle. Pull the string tight and start on the next row. The right needle goes in the right side, and the left needle goes in the left side. Pull them through and tighten the rows. Row by row, row 1 followed by row 2, 3, 4, 5, till the head is done. Now our panda is starting to take shape and look like a panda. I like to finish any of my bead pet projects with 2 square knots. I will pull the right side string over to the left side of the pet and tie a square knot. I leave my needles on because I will pass those 2 strings through to the right side of the bead pet and tie another square knot. You can cut off the needles now. Left over right, pull tight, and then right over left. And right before I pull it tight, I add a little drop of glue to secure the knot, pull it tight, trim the tails, and then while the glue is still wet, I take my needle and poke the knot and the tails into a bead to hide them, and then the glue will hold them. Then we're going to add the ears. I take 2 to 3 feet of string and tie the needles to the end of the string and add the one single bead from one ear and hold it under the clipboard. Then I string row 2, 3, and 4 to make one ear. Then I take the first needle and pass it through the very first row of the head, and the second needle goes through the third row of the panda head, and then to the other side, and I reverse the ear starting with the 5 beads, the 4 beads, the 3, and then the 1 bead. And the panda's just about done. Tie a knot. I'll pass the right string to the left side and tie a square knot. And then pass both needles to the right side of the pet. And tie another square knot. You can cut your needles off now. Left over right and right over left, tuck under, add a dab of glue, trim your tails, pull the knot tight, and then trim your tails. And while the glue is still wet, poke the knot and the tails in. Well, here are a few of our pandas, and in different colors too. So until next time, bead creative and have some fun with another bead kid.